Y'all remember iRobot?
No.
Well, it feels as though we're getting closer and closer to something like that. Lately, I've been seeing these videos of these little AI-powered robots roaming through the streets of Chicago, and it's causing a bit of a stir, a bit of a commotion. You know, people are really upset about this change. Who do we have to thank for these little guys? None other than Serve Robotics, a leading autonomous oh my god, a leading autonomous sidewalk delivery company. That's who they are, as stated right here by themselves. This isn't their first rodeo either. They've launched these dashing little machines in other cities like LA, Miami, and Dallas. And Chicago is their first big Midwest city. Serve has partnered up with Uber Eats and DoorDash, and at least here in Chicago, it's only as of recording of this video, serving about 14 neighborhoods. So how do these robots work, and why are they causing such issues for Chicagoans? Instead of a restaurant handing your food to a person, they place the food inside our little friend here. Let's give him a name. Let's call him Little Hugo. Why are we calling him Little Hugo? It's because Serve believes that naming these robots would make them more recognizable around the streets, you know, humanize them a little bit in case they become sentient. Instead of it being looked at as a nuisance, it would be looked at as a friend or a regular. Anyways, once Little Hugo here has your order, the AI tells it where to go, what's the best route to take, and several sensors around its build actually make it aware of its surrounding, a full 360 view of pretty much everything. It stops at crosswalks and yields to pedestrians like a little gentleman. Good job, Little Hugo. As the customer, you're able to track it like you would any other delivery app out there, and once it has arrived, all you have to do is scan your phone and voila, fresh and ready to eat food, unless it falls down the stairs while trying to complete its delivery. Dang, poor Little Hugo, huh? It's rough out there. It's rough out there for these little automatons. For right now, Serve robots can only travel about 1.5 miles from the restaurant you're ordering from, so it's very limited. Thus, while a lot of these robots are in major cities that are walkable and not the suburbs. Yeah, Serve CEO Vignesh Ram really wants you to know that in the long run, using these robots will not only be cheaper to you, but also more accessible to anyone who wants their food delivered.
And is this cheaper than delivery?
Yeah, I think in the long run, you know, you think about how much it costs you to get your average food delivery order. You know, you go on there, you're spending $10. Our goal is to drive that cost down, to hopefully make sure that food delivery is more accessible to more people.
But Hugo, isn't food delivery already more accessible than ever? Yes, actually it is. There's several food delivery apps now. There's a lot of people that still wouldn't mind doing this as a job, whether it's temporarily or full-time. And Hugo, isn't food delivery also the cheapest that it's ever been? You're funny. Obviously, that's a joke. Food delivery is not cheap. Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, and other food delivery apps mark up the food by up to 20%. And that's before any of those silly little service fees and tips. The only reason I see it being cheaper is that there'd be no need to pay a service fee, and you're not really required to tip a robot. Which, by the way, if for some reason your food does get delivered by one of these robots and you've already pre-tipped, after the delivery is complete, you get your money refunded. So there's that, I guess. And that's one of the many issues people have with these sorts of advancements, especially with AI. Why would Uber Eats and DoorDash hire actual people with bills to pay to deliver food when they could cut their costs and switch over to robots who won't complain about getting $3 for a 20-mile order? And yes, I know that I said that they could only travel 1.5 miles for now, but the point kind of still stands. I delivered for DoorDash and Uber Eats for a total of 2 years, app switching pretty much every single day, and getting a $4 to $5 order to only travel 1.5 miles, heck, even 2 miles, was actually really good. I would take those any day of the week, but that's money that's not going towards someone anymore, but rather saving companies money. It seems bogus, to put it lightly. Also, take this Serve investor presentation as an example. A lot of these AI companies always use the environment as a selling point. They claim it will lower global emissions, and even though that is not a bad thing at all, that's not what I'm saying, it's hard not to look at this as just another way that AI is taking jobs from real people. Some do it full time, like I mentioned earlier. Others do it more as a side hustle, but either way, it will result in people losing out on money. But why are people in Chicago in particularly fed up? Although the AI is supposed to be able to look in all four directions all at once, it is still colliding with people. Heck, not even your pets are safe if you're out walking your dog. And apparently it's creating a lot of obstructions in the city. On top of these things, they are bulky, so they take up a good chunk of the sidewalk. People tend to kind of yield for these little guys to kind of just go on through, which people are taking various issues with. But on top of that, they're also getting stuck in the ice and the snow. If you're from the Midwest, from Chicago here, or even Michigan, you know how crazy it gets, how cold it gets, how many inches of snow we get, and these dudes seem to not be capable. They don't have their snow tires on to get through to it, and this video here popped off showing something like that.
Should I help him? Wait up for the help him. Wait, hold on. Wait up for the help him. Hold on. Hold on. I got you, bro. I got you, bro. I got you, bro. I got you, bro. Go. Go, 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 go. Go. I'm trying to help you, bro. Go. I'm trying to help you.
Because of all this, one man has taken the lead in trying to put a halt on them temporarily, Josh Robertson. He started a petition that has garnered about 3,000 signatures as of 12/13/2025. The signature is to release safety and ADA findings, evaluate that data and local impacts in a public hearing, and set clear rules for these robots. Now, the CEO, Mr. Ram himself, has issued a response stating that robots at the end of the day carry 1 3,000ths. I don't like how I said that. Carry 1 3,000. What am I? Oh my gosh. Carry 1 3,000th. 3,000th the kinetic energy of a car. They travel more slowly, they don't present the risk that cars that do deliveries can do, Ram said, which is true. If you get hit by someone in a car, it could be fatal, not gonna lie. But if you get hit by one of these robots, not so much. Unless you're this guy who needed stitches after one ram into him. Regardless, rules should be put in place, especially in regards to ADA laws. The last thing you want is somebody in a wheelchair or in crutches. You don't want anybody getting hurt. So I think this petition, just to kind of halt the rollout of these robots, is good, especially if you live in these neighborhoods. Serve is not the only company that has these robots. Another company by the name of Coco actually began doing this back in 2024, but only operates, I believe, in the 27th and 34th ward in Chicago. From what I researched, both work almost the same. Coco just seems to wrap their robots in bright pink to stand out more. Something I did find interesting though is that Coco robots can be controlled by a pilot if need be. So if it gets stuck or if it is having an issue maneuvering through a crowd of people, somebody could actually take over the robot and find the best course of action. Not sure how many of these pilots are working offsite controlling these robots. It seems that there might be more robots in the streets than there are pilots, so that could potentially cause an issue. I couldn't find a definite answer for the server robots though, although I'd hope that be an option too. Some places I found that they do use pilots, but then other times it seems that it's fully AI. So something I did see as a sales pitch for these Serve and Coco robots is that they rely on social media for publicity a lot. They make it a clear point in their presentations. There's no denying that the videos that get uploaded gets people's attention. It doesn't really matter if they come off as gimmicky. These bots get people talking, and there's no such thing as bad publicity these days, or at least most of the time. It doesn't seem that hard for a restaurant to sign up to use these either. The integration of Uber Eats and DoorDash already make it simple enough, and from what I found, it doesn't cost the restaurant or business any more money than the delivery service that they're already using. So it kind of seems to be a plus side for everybody involved. Whether we like it or not, these robots seem to not be going anywhere. Why would a company stop at delivering 1 to 2 miles away? This is just the beginning. With how fast technology advances, I wouldn't even be surprised if the distance doubles, I don't know, triples, quadruples in the next 2 to 5 years. As a matter of fact, in that same presentation that I showed you before, Serve is planning on a much bigger robot to deliver further away from restaurants, maybe even being brought to the suburbs. My wife and I went to San Francisco with some friends about a year ago now. And I gotta be honest, we were all kind of surprised and even intrigued by the Waymo taxis, these self-driving cars. They pick you up and then take you where you want to go, all around some city limits. They don't just go outside of the city of San Francisco all willy-nilly unless it's to charge. But for the most part, they seem to be very popular, not only amongst tourists like us, but amongst the actual people. Out of curiosity, I think we went into a Waymo about 1 to 2 times, and it wasn't all that bad. I was actually kind of shocked how well it drove around people. They have a screen inside the car where you're actually able to see what the car sees around it, and that's how it knew obviously when to stop and when to go. And in a city that's as hilly as San Francisco, it drove pretty good. And again, I did see a lot of people getting in and getting out of these cars. Although these self-driving cars and food delivery automatons are cool, there's no denying that it's very futuristic, I can't help but worry about what it means for people that try to make a living in the same fields. Even when companies say their intention isn't to take people's jobs away, when you look at the overall picture, that becomes harder and harder to believe. I mean, look at AI being used to replace artists or voice actors, right? In the same breath, these companies tell people not to worry, but how can you not worry when companies seem to be looking for the cheapest solution for something in any department? I think people should worry. I think there should be concern, and I think there should be laws that don't allow companies to do whatever it is that they want with AI. So I do think that this petition that they're trying to push in Chicago is something worth doing. I'm all for protecting people's jobs and their livelihood. When companies introduce something like this, well, the alarms start to ring. And honestly, I don't blame anybody who starts to feel a little bit more anxious because of it. I will say one last thing. You are able to opt out of using these robots. I believe in the Uber Eats and DoorDash app, there is a setting you could toggle. If you don't want to use this service, you are able to turn it off, which I think is a good thing. But even with that, not to be cynical or pessimistic, there might be a time where you won't be able to. So I hope they keep this feature in every single app. That way you know that for a fact the people that are delivering your food are actual people that need the money more than these, well, these robots. Whoa, didn't mean to jump scare you. This is Editing Hugo here. Before I wrapped up the video, I didn't realize just how much of a rabbit hole I opened for myself regarding these AI delivering robots. I had no clue that they were being used on campuses, like college campuses, specifically by a company called Starship.
Hello, I'm a Starship delivery robot.
Spoke to me.
I didn't know they talk.
These seem to be more centered around a college town, so I guess more suburbs than I did mention in the video. And I believe that Starship started way back in 2019. I managed to find a video from, I believe, 2018, 2019, showcasing these robots, I believe in Arizona. I had no clue. Honestly, I went to college back in 2014. This was not a thing, at least as far as I remember. On top of that, Chick-fil-A has a delivering service as well, where their robot is much bigger, maybe about almost 4 feet tall, that just delivers Chick-fil-A in a very similar way as these robots that we've been talking about in this video.
Will it turn in? Wait, look, it's turning. Oh my gosh. my god. Where's it going? What do you do?
To retrieve your order, hold your phone with SMS order number on the inside door. The doors open and close. Please.
It's so cute. Going? Okay, thank you, Mom.
And then just before I was about to wrap everything up there, I just saw that DoorDash is making their own robots.
Meet Dot, DoorDash's first commercial autonomous delivery robot rolling out around Phoenix. At just 1/10 the size of a car, DoorDash says this all-electric bot can travel up to 20 miles per hour on sidewalks, bike lanes, and even roads, using built-in navigation tech like GPS, radar, lidar, and cameras. Dot stands at 4 feet 6 inches tall, but don't think that its cute headlights means it can't do the heavy lifting. At 350 pounds, the company says Dot can carry 6 large pizza boxes, or up to 30 pounds at once.
Like, it seems to be something that we're definitely going to see a boom here in the next few years. My sentiment is still the same. I don't think these robots are going everywhere. I just felt the need to also drop this little nugget at the end of the video because it evaded me until I started working on the video and then started to discover more things that I just didn't know. So yeah, I'll just leave it there. I think that's everything I kind of wanted to go over. If you are from Chicago or any of the cities like Miami or Dallas, have you encountered these little robots on the street? Did you like the experience overall? I honestly would love to know your thoughts and opinions. I just saw a lot of these clips go viral on TikTok and I just felt like I really needed to talk about it. It is in a city that's close to me. For now, I want to pass it on to you. What do you guys think about these robots? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? Anything and all? Let me know in the comment section down below. That's everything. My name is Hugo. Stay golden, and I'll see you in the next video. Whenever that is. Thank you.